Should we move on to watch this, jerks?
Sure. So let's see what we got here. Well, I'll start with this. Die Grains 1976 had to say, no one's watching Three Body Problem on Netflix. It's really good. Well, I actually saw that comment and I was sitting at home and I had like a couple of hours and I said, you know what? Maybe I'll watch this Three Body Problem show that people keep talking about.
That Die Grains forced you to watch.
Yes. And I did not like it. That's my review. Did not like it. I made it through an episode and a half, and I was like, there's 1,000 things going on, and yet somehow all 1,000 things are incredibly dull.
Not much happens is the complaint that I've
it's
come across.
Like, if I tried to explain to you, because my son asked me, he goes, what's this show about? And I'm telling him like all these like 30 things that happens. And he goes, how many episodes does that happen in? I'm like, no, that's all in just the first episode. And yet somehow nothing happens at the same time. You have people committing suicide and virtual reality video games and cutting between the 1960s and the present day. And you have the same woman when she's young and when she's old and all these people and how are they connected and who are they talking to and why are the stars blinking and all of this communist China and modern day London and Wong from Doctor Strange plays a detective, but who is he really working for? And all of these things are going on. And it sounds, when you say it out loud, like it should be riveting television. And it's like watching paint dry. And I don't understand how they pulled that off.
I feel like a lot of these big budget Netflix series, I am very wary of them. Whenever I see them pop up on the homepage, they almost never are reviewed well.
Mm-hmm.
The price to performance ratio in terms of like quality seems low. So I'm really Netflix especially, like I'm really wary of these types of series. So I think I will skip this one. I've been watching Shogun on Hulu, which is good. We're totally up to date on that. It is a lot of reading of subtitles. If you are not looking to read subtitles, this show is not for you. It's not one of these ones where, there is a white guy who's a main character of the show, but it's not like they're speaking English 80% of the time because, it's not an excuse for them to speak English. It's really mostly in Japanese, but the story is really good. If you want to see a made up like Japanese historical drama, this is a good quality one. They've done a pretty good job. Still, I'd say too much CG, but other than that, it's good. Good all around show. What else we got?
The Tournament of Champion finale was last week on the Food Network. We were unhappy with the winner. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone. Not that she's a bad person. It's just it wasn't. Well, I guess. Yeah, I guess not really, because in the final four, it's all women. It doesn't matter. Yeah, but we wanted it to be someone else. It wasn't. What can you do? But it was still riveting television. Still a very interesting watch. Very interesting final cook. Tough final four, tough finale. I really liked how they did it though.
It's tough out there.
It is like, it was like alligator was one of the meats and some sort of vegetables that I had never seen before and like very weird stuff. And how do you make that into a gourmet dish kind of in an hour? It's fun. It's interesting. If you care about cooking at all, you learn some techniques here and there on like how to tenderize tough meats or what the right seasonings to go with certain things are and utilization of kitchen tools. You learn a lot. I actually do enjoy that. So whatever.
Do you apply this knowledge at all?
Sometimes. Sometimes I'll pull an Audible with my HelloFresh meal and they'll say, oh, use this ingredient this way. And I'll be like, I'm not. I'm going to use this ingredient this way instead. So
I do that too.
Yeah.
Because I'm lazy.
Yeah. No. You skip the steps you don't need to do.
I don't want to use two ovens.
Right.
Well, no, it's not skipping steps. It's just reutilizing the ingredients in different ways that you think other people might enjoy more. Anyway, also been watching the new season of Game Changer started on the Dropout app network, Dropout service.
I don't know what any of these words are.
You're just making things. That
We've
was all made
talked-
up. All
You
made
know,
up.
I talked about Dropout once when I first subscribed to it. I'm getting on to a year, and I will definitely renew it.
This is a service that you have to pay for.
This is a service that I have to pay for that
It's
I
called
happily pay
Dropout?
for, called Dropout. It used to be College Humor. And then Sam Reich bought the company. He's a comedian. His father is Robert Reich, the former secretary of whatever the economy or whatever he
Secretary
was.
of Humor.
Yeah. So Sam Reich bought College Humor. He changed the name to Dropout. You get it? It's funny. And he started the Dropout Network. And there's a bunch of shows on it. It's big enough that their marquee show, Dimension 20, which is actually a show I don't watch, but they're doing a live show in Madison Square Garden.
Is that the Patton Oswalt show?
No, it is no one you would know.
Is that like a D&D thing or what?
Yeah, that's a D&D thing. They're doing their D&D show live in Madison Square Garden. I don't know how they're going to pull that off. It sounds crazy to me, but anyway.
Really big dice.
Yeah. Game Changer is the show that I like the most, and the new season started. And that show is excellent. If you don't have Dropout, you could.
What are you waiting for?
Yeah, exactly. Go. It's not expensive, but you could go on YouTube and you could like search for clips. If you go and watch the Dropout clips of the most recent episodes. The most recent episode of Game Changer, which was, it was called Bingo, but nothing is as it seems. So I don't want to spoil it, but it just it was layers on top of layers. And my wife
You've made us watch some of this before. You sent us a clip and
I
said,
did. You
no,
didn't
thank
like
you.
it. I said you
Right?
didn't like
Oh,
it.
is this the game show? Like
Yeah,
the game
it's
show?
the game
Yeah.
show. Mhm.
Yeah.
I remember not liking
Yeah,
it also. It
you
wasn't that I
guys
didn't
didn't
like
like
it.
it.
It was just like, I was like, eh.
It's not for you. I never
6.5.
said it was for you. I'm just saying the new season started and I think it's excellent.
Cool.
I enjoy them. I think everything they do is funny and I'm happy to support their
Excellent.
antics. Mhm.
Striker 199 in the chat wanted to know if Shogun was Mrs. Cheapy approved. Absolutely, I wouldn't be fucking watching that if she wasn't watching it with me. That's too much. I'm not watching subtitles that much by myself. That's a big ask. What else is on here? Ball sacks? Is that really a thing? Who put ball sacks on here?
Oh, you were typing in something and I put that in the middle of what you were typing.
Oh,
That's
And
not
you
a
must have-
dropout.
And then you edited it.
oh, I thought there was a game called Ball. There was a show called Ball Sacks, and that
No,
was your new favorite show.
no, that was me just playing around while you were in the outline at the same time as me.
I watched Justified, the final season of that called City Primeval. I just actually finished it today. Do you know that Raylan Givens, the main character, wears a Jason Isbell shirt in the the series finale of that show?
What shirt?
It says Jason Isbell on it. Like,
All right.
black.
Okay.
It was pretty good, I guess. I didn't really buy
I'll take your word for
I
it.
didn't buy the romantic relationship between Raylan Givens and the
Just call him Justified.
Justified. Yeah,
Just call him Justified.
it was a good series though. I liked it. And I shouldn't spoil anything for people who haven't watched it, but you mentioned
Don't
it.
say if it was a she, because then everyone will know.
I know. I'm not going to say anything else. Kurimanju asked in the chat what I thought about Tokyo Vice. He really likes the second season. We noped out on Tokyo Vice after like 2 episodes. Mrs. Cheapy, that is not Mrs. Cheapy approved. That is disavowed. She wants nothing to do with Tokyo Vice. It's just too much. It's too unrealistic, I think. It's trying to be realistic, and it's too ridiculous.
That's fair.
Yeah, it was too. We talked about it on a previous episode. You can go back and listen to that for more thoughts, but we noped out of that real fast. It's very different than the book, by the way. I would recommend just reading the book, which also might be bullshit, which I've read.
That requires me to read a book.
Not you, Kurimanju. You probably read it already. But people say the book it might be bullshit. So it's entertaining, at least if it's not factual.